Hello everyone, it's Henry again. On this video, this was a trip I did in 2017 before I really started doing videos of my canoe trips and hiking trips. And this is in the Noganosh area of central Ontario. And I do this with my friend Frank, and it's a 3-night, 4-day trip. And so I just thought I'd introduce it to you. The image quality isn't quite the same, and you're going to hear some clicking on the odd case. Unfortunately, with the camera I had at the time, the knob I did to adjust the brightness makes a bit of a noise. I've tried to edit out as much of that as I can, but there is some cases where it still is. So some canoeing and some nice wilderness scenes here, and I hope you enjoy it. And thank you again very much for watching.
Well, the beginning of our Noganosh adventure. Just arrived at Frank's place here. We're just going to pack things over to his car and on we go.
That's getting all of it.
We're now on 522, just past Grundy Lake, on our way to the put-in here, where the lake crosses the road.
So this is our campsite on Noganosh Lake. It's Frank was here before. It's very nicely established. And get out here where the lake is pretty bright. So we have his new canoe, and then the view. This is from whence we came, and then this is the pan here, and in that area there you can go north, and this area here you go around that way. So we'll probably do one of these days. We're here theoretically for 3 nights, so 2 full days plus what's left of today and most of Friday before we head out. So it's going to be nice. So we've got ourselves a really nice site. There's been many improvements made by others. So we got a nice fireplace and a sitting bench, and then a couple of areas that are fairly flat. We've got a very nice camp kitchen right here. It's been constructed by others. And then this is my tent, and Frank's tent is just over there. So that's Frank's. Let's get a little bit more. There we go, nice little timber line. And my new camper 4. So it's there's very few bugs. It's a bit of a breeze blowing, but it's not too difficult. And there are very few bugs in the area here. I have my shirt off right now, and so we're just trying to hang a few things in the tree. We put most of the stuff in the food barrel, but it may be 60 liters, but we probably needed 90.
At this time I'd ask you to take a moment, please, if you enjoy my work, and subscribe to my channel Hiking with Henry. Also consider giving this video a like and checking for the notifications.
It would help me grow my channel, and I would appreciate it very much. Thank you. This is the south end of Mud Bay. Okay, so you can see in here it's everything looks about the same, and our food, our cans and stuff that we've hung in the tree are still there, which is always nice. See in the distance there. We have a nice sunrise. It's still cloudy here today. Very still, has been for a couple of days, and certainly for camping like this, that's just wonderful to not have to fight the wind at the site or out on the water. And at the distance in the center there, you'll see Frank in the canoe out doing a bit of morning fishing. We heard a lot of barred owls last night. You could hear them hooting across the lake. It's a very nice place, Noganosh Lake. And today we'll go through that opening there. We're paddling up to the highway and back, and a bit of exploring, so about 30 kilometers or so. Very nice this morning. just a verbal essay for a moment. We had drove up the highway, no traffic, on these roads. The access road here was good, and set up camp, and then we did 20K exploration yesterday, just with looking around. For sleeping, I was worried about the pain and everything, and it started a bit that way, and then I let the air out of the air mattress, and it seemed to work really well. I was lying on it, and I opened the valve until the air mattress no longer really let any air out, and I found I could even lie on my back without pain. So I'm really kind of looking forward to tonight, see how that goes. But in general, I think it went pretty well. Just laying the purple bag over me was nice and warm. Sometimes it was too warm, so that was really good. The soup and the puddings and the turkey were really good for dinner. It was just enough. I'm not starving. Felt really well, and looking forward to today. So that all went pretty good too. Thankfully, this year this is idyllic so far. We have nice temperatures, hardly any bugs, and no significant wind. So it's been a true pleasure. I think the only thing that I can think of so far that I forgot is small plastic bags for my sandwiches, but I'm going to use the vitamin bags. So that's not such a big deal. Anyhow, so we're off to, I hope, a pretty good start, and we'll see how day 2 goes. Well, this is the high Main Street day. How most people get in here.
This is where we came from. Campsite is somewhere in the distance.
Going around
that plain.
Around the corner.
Through all that.
So this is the northeast end of Smoky Lake as we move north now towards these narrow passages here. Eventually a portage or two. So this is our campsite the night of day 2. It's cloudy, has been all day. We got rained on during the day, but mercifully no rain has come here to the campsite. But you can see as I look out here that the sky is opaque. It's about 22 degrees, so it's actually reasonably comfortable. There's a breeze from the southeast, and so we're just finished dinner and washed our dishes for the most part, and getting ready to sit and have a visit before we get ready for tomorrow, another day of exploration. Frank is busy
Washing my
washing his canoeing gloves.
infected by some sort of poisonous whatever.
Hopefully not.
Or whatever.
Whatever it is. Well, it went away, which is good. We've put a lot of our food in the food barrel here, which has been wonderful because we don't have to hang it then. So keeps the unwanted visitors. This is 60 liters, so there's lots of stuff in there. We had a nice windstorm last night that came through, but we were pretty well put together by then. And it's about, I don't know, 7:30, quarter to 8, so we're just getting organized, and then we're going to do a 30-odd kilometer loop to the east and south of here, and hopefully back by 5 or 6 tonight. So just going through what is now becoming routine. And I don't know, I think we're doing pretty well, eh?
I think so.
Yeah, it's come pretty good through. We got rained on yesterday for about 15 minutes, but it was quite interesting through the different junctions and the lakes that are north of here, and it's quite a remarkable area of all of the different water bodies that interconnect and so forth. So we look forward to exploring more of it.
And the clouds were so threatening everywhere around me, yet above me never was there anything that even brought a single drop of rain, whereas around me it was almost going nuts at times. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm prepared, but I'm just gonna keep on shooting, you know. And so I took a bunch of photos, and that was with my old Canon camera, you know, the regular film type, so it was good quality. Excellent pictures.
in a John Lake, I'm told. We tried the portage into the next lake, but it's too wild. So we put a stop to that, as any wise tripper would do. So we're now exploring some little bays on our way back slowly to the campsite. View from our campsite on the night of day 3. And finally, it's mostly clear. I would say it's about 15 out here right now. There's a slight breeze, way more sun than we had earlier today. And I expect a clear and pretty cold night. I would think it might go down to 5 tonight, just as a guess. But had a really nice time so far here. It's the morning of day 4 here at Noganosh Lake. And it was about 5 or 6 last night. It may be 10 now. Very little wind. And so we have some nice mist on the lake here. A beautiful sunrise. And out there somewhere in there is Frank out having a morning fish. You can hear the boat, but you don't see him. It's absolutely beautiful. Sun's right in my eyes today. So this is the morning of day 4, and so Frank's out fishing right now, and we're going to have about a 15-kilometer tour of the bay that's south of here, and then we'll come back, pack up, and head back home again. It's been a wonderful trip, and saw lots of this area. We'll have about 105 kilometers of paddling involved, maybe 110 before we're done in 4 days, which isn't too bad at all. For me, the food's been terrific. The body's held together pretty well. The only challenge I've had is the sleeping, and I've been asleep, and the only issue is what wakes me up is pain in my arms when the circulation's cut off for one reason or another when I'm sleeping this way or that. I don't know if it's the cold or something lies in something, whatever the story is. No problem with my hips, no problem with my back. All of that works well. The pillow thing works really well. So all of it's good. We just have to try and figure that out somehow. And other than that, I think we're in pretty good shape. So I've just going to make some breakfast here and start packing up my gear a bit. And then we'll start our little outing later on. So that's it here from Noganosh Lake on day 4.
We had our breakfast and got our camp squared away, and then we did about a 20-kilometer tour of the bays and islands that are west and south of our campsite. Now, this turned into a much more interesting paddle than we thought it might be, given the complexity of all the bays that we were able to see, and it was really quite amazing. And so this was a really nice way to end our trip at Noganosh, because when we got back, then we had to pack up and paddle out. Now, thankfully, the paddle out was not excessively long and could be done in a few hours instead of a whole day. So you can follow these pictures here and enjoy the views that we saw on this paddle, again, south and west of our campsite.
So this is our last little while here. We just did a very nice 17-kilometer paddle around the south end of Noganosh Lake. And we're just having a snack. That's my bit. And expedition leader over here is actually having a lunch. So that's should be written on the calendar.
I have to put my executive chair together.
Indeed. And then he has to pack up, which I already did. My tent was about there. But he was fishing this morning.
He put his tent together while I got extra Ks on the water.
That's right, but you didn't catch any fish. You don't provide for your team very well. Anyhow, this amazing kitchen. We've just really enjoyed this. Whoever built it, we really appreciate it because of 3 stations here and we can both work and have a stove in the middle. It's just been wonderful. And then we have this other little bench here for sitting, and Frank used it as a dinner table. So that's just been grand. So the what we found, the food barrel is much emptier than it was on the way out, and certainly due to last night's feast. But we really had a pretty good look at this area. I must say, we figured now it's over 120 kilometers of paddling, and then we got a little bit to go yet back out to the car, and then home from there. So anyhow, it's been a really nice time here.
While Frank was putting his tent and what have you away, I decided to walk around the island. It wasn't all that large, and there was some very interesting things there. It's not used a great deal, and so the island is not overrun. And thankfully, one of the nice things, there was no garbage. So I found some interesting fungi and some of the largest white birch trees I've ever seen in the wild.
This is the second birch tree I've seen. The white birch tree, I'm going to estimate, is between 15 and 18 inches thick. There was another one on the other side of the island, and there's a couple of downed ones too. Some of the biggest white birch trees I've ever seen. Amazing.
So then we got gathered up and took a few pictures in front of the birch tree to remember our trip. And it's amazing to think when I look at this, because a week later I was in the hospital with an abdominal obstruction and in big trouble. So we had no idea at this time that that was coming. Well, anyhow, after that we got back on the water and began our paddle back to the vehicle. It was a beautiful day, and the waters were nice and calm, and it was certainly no challenge really at all to get back.